Okay, so today we are taking Nova to her checkup, and we are going to get a blood draw done. And when I get home, I will do a pregnancy, well, not pregnancy test, a Relaxin test. Even though she does look chunky, I'm pretty sure that she is pregnant. If not, then she's just been eating really good. But hi, baby. Yeah, she does not like the car drive. So we are getting her exam and everything done, and we will check back in just a little bit. I do have her gentle leader on, just because it helps keep her a little bit calmer, especially when there's different animals and dogs in here. And since she is getting a blood draw, I don't want her to have a wide open mouth. She never bit or did anything with anybody, but I never take any chances. She does have a double collar leash on. One is a choke leash, which she doesn't really need, but I keep it as a second secure and just a regular collar one. But yep, today is Nova's day to have her exam. And I will do an update in just a little bit on how everything's going, and then I'll do her blood test later. Yes. Yeah, my baby. Yeah. She's like, something's going on. Every time I come here, something's going on. Pretty girl. Okay, so we'll see you in the next part in just a second. Yeah, mama. Yes, mama. Yes, mama. Yeah. Okay, so Nova is in her room, and we're waiting for a blood draw and the doctor to come in. And she's also going to go ahead and get her nails and that done a little shorter. And she's already by the door, wouldn't escape. She's like, get me out of here. But yep, we're in the room, and she weighs 69 point something, so about 70 pounds now. Yeah. And we're just waiting for the nurse to come back in. Good girl. Look at that tummy. Look at that big tummy. There are babies in there. There are babies in there. Yeah. Really? I think there's babies in there. Okay, so Nova just got her blood drawn. And we had well, we actually had to do two different places. So I got blood drawn here, and she got her rabies and distemper, and those are okay to give. The positives outweigh not getting them. And she got her nails done. And Mama, I know you don't like having that on. I know. Yeah, we'll be going out soon, and then when we get in the truck, we take it off. Yep. Thirsty girl. And she had some treats, and she had some like canned dog food here. I love this water thing. It's so awesome. We met the new doctor. She is very awesome. She is very nice. Yep. Here we go. We're gonna pay, and yep. And we're gonna get some eye drops because Nova stuck her head in some of my flower plants outside, so it looks like she's a little irritated. So we're gonna get some eye drops for her. Yeah, Mama. She's like, don't touch me. Get away from me. All right. So, you're trying to go after the rest of the dog food? Seriously? Oh. All right. So I will do another video when we're loaded up and heading home. All right. So we are on our way home. Here's Nova in the back seat. Yeah, she's all calm. tired. It's been a rough morning. Had 2 shots, a blood draw, and we met a new doctor. So I will get her home, let her go potty, get her something to eat, make sure I get her. And then in here in a little bit, as soon as I get settled, we'll do the blood test and see if her Relaxin test comes up positive. Relaxin is the pregnancy test. It doesn't test for pregnancy, it just tests for Relaxin, which a dog's body releases when they are pregnant. So I am going to go ahead and stop this part and be back in just a little bit. Okay, so I am at home and we got everything settled. Like I said, when we got Nova's blood drawn, there wasn't a whole lot in one, so they ended up having to draw again on the second vein. So I got 2 tubes, and they're both in the purple top, the anticoagulant tubes to keep the sample liquefied. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the blood into these and spin it down to separate it from whole blood cells and plasma. And I have my pipette right here, and then I have my test, and I am going to go ahead and do a test, and I will be back in a second. Okay, so I have my 2 samples, and I try to put the blood into them evenly. One's got a little bit more than the other one, and the reason why I wanted to use 2 samples is because when you spin it down, you want something on the opposite side to keep it from shaking. And also, if I do kind of mess up one sample, I have the other sample already separated to test. So again, and here is the test. It's a Relaxin test. Again, it's not a pregnancy test. It tests for Relaxin in the dog's blood. If they are pregnant, the further along they are in their pregnancy, the Relaxin gets stronger. So I usually don't do a blood test or a Relaxin test until definitely after 30-35 days of the last time that they had tied. And there's a C line for control. That just means the test is working. The T is the test. If there's a line, pregnancy is positive. If not, and then S is where the sample goes into. So let me get these started to spin down, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my spinner connected, and I do believe this is called a Centrifuge machine. I just call it a spinner machine. And again, I have my samples. Oh, nope, I gotta switch that, which is why I double check before I turn it on. My samples are across from each other. And I make sure my samples are clean, because if there's blood and stuff on here when the machine spins, it's going to splatter all over the place and make a big mess. So I'm going to do that, and I like to do a spin of between 3 and 5 minutes to make sure that there is a really good separation from the plasma and the whole blood. And it's not really a loud machine. And if you don't have one of these, it's fine. What you can do, and I've seen people do it before, is they'll take their sample and put it on a string and tie it to like a ceiling fan. And the gravity of the spinning will also separate. Maybe not as good as one of these would, but it kind of has the same purpose. So I will be right back as soon as this is done spinning down. Okay, it's been about 3.5 minutes, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the machine, and Conan's out there barking. Wait till it stops. He's like, am I going to be a dad or am I not going to be a dad? So, yeah, you can see that it's not 100% clear yet. There's still a little bit of red. So I'm going to spin it down for another minute or two because I'd like to try to get a really, really clear separation. Let's check the other one. Yeah, see, the other one's a little bit clearer because I think that one had the least of it in them. But, all right. So, yeah, like I said, I do 2 tubes just to make sure, because sometimes my hands aren't steady, and sometimes I have a test that I can't really do heads or tails of. So sometimes I'll do 1 test, sometimes I'll do 2 tests. Sometimes I mess up the sample and I go too deep and I hit the red blood cells. And that means I'll have to spin it down again. But if I have another sample already done, then I can do the test easier. So just waiting for it to separate. And again, we're just separating whole blood, and we're separating it into plasma and red blood cells. All right. And then again, oh, I should have waited till it was done, but I want to see the results. So what I'll do is I'll put that one there, and I'll put this one. I'll probably go ahead and use this one first, and then we'll see how that one turns out, because that one's just a little bit clearer. Yeah, see, the one that was a smaller sample is a little bit darker, and the one that had more sample is a little bit better separated. So I'm gonna go ahead and close that. And ready, let's do a pregnancy blood test. So I have my pipette here, and my pipette is, you put, we'll do this one. Here, let me move that so I can push down over here, because I want to use this one. All right, and then we'll put that one back up, making sure not to let it touch anything. But the pipette has 2 amounts. You push down once, and that's an amount, and you push down more, and that's another amount. When you take a sample, you always want to push down to get the air out, and then let up. So, for example, if I put this into the sample, and then push that down, it's pushing air out the tip, and it'll cause a bubble, and it'll cause mixing. So what you want to do is you want to push down. And with the pregnancy test, I don't need a whole big sample, so I'm just going to use the first where it pushes down and you feel resistance. That's 1 amount, and then pushing down all the way is the second amount. So I am going to uncap this one. Uncap. Come on. Okay, there we go. Got the cap off of that one, securing it back. So I'm going to push down once, and that's removing the air. And then I am going to insert just into the plasma and let go. Now, I drew up my sample, and I did not put my tip down into the whole blood cells. So I do put about 4 to 5 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll just finish this sample. 5. And I make sure that that's enough to get the, oop, there's my phone cord. Get the test going. And it's like watching paint dry. Let me turn on this big light over here. I'm gonna keep, well, that didn't help too much, but, oh my goodness, okay. So, let's see if I can't get the test under some light more. All right, so The test is starting to show a C line. That's a control line. That means the test is working. And I do believe I see a faint T for test. Let's see. Control line's getting darker. And it looks like the test line is getting darker. And it does look like we're going to have puppies. So Nova is going to be a mama again. And Conan is a daddy again. And it looks like we're going to have puppies. So I put Nova's due date for around July the 14th, 15th. And I actually need to, just a couple days before that, make an appointment for an x-ray so we can do a puppy count and get at least a good idea of how many puppies we are expecting. So again, this is a Nova test for this. Well, right now we're in June, the end of June. I think today's the 27th. June 27th, 2023. And we just got a positive Relaxin test. A Relaxin test is the substance that we are testing for, because Relaxin is my goodness, what is it called? It's a hormone that a pregnant dog will have. And since this is a pretty rapid test, it came up pretty fast and it's pretty dark. I'm going to say that I am kind of right. She's a little bit more than a month. I'd say about a month and a week, a month and 2 weeks maybe. So yeah, her test came up pretty quickly and dark. All right, so there you have it. We have our Relaxin test for Nova. And I'm going to get rid of the... hold on, let me see. Right here? Is that how you make that eject? How do you make this eject? Eject. Just that, maybe? Oh, there we go. So you just push that down, and that ejects this one, because you do not want to wash or reuse these. I mean, I know some people will sanitize them and stuff, but seriously, I mean, they come in such a big pack. You don't want any kind of cross-contamination. But there we go. Positive test. All right, so I will go ahead and end this video. And what I'm going to do is I've got a biohazard container that I throw away all this stuff in, and blood samples and all the stuff used, the paraphernalia and that, so that way it gets safely disposed of. But yeah, you see how the test line is there, and it's a pretty good test line. Like I said, it's not as dark as the control line, but as the Relaxin becomes more concentrated, more profound in the blood, the tests usually do get a little darker. But there we go. All right, thanks for watching, and I'll have updates later on pregnancy and that. All right, bye-bye.